Are we live now? Oh dear. Doesn't seem to be. Seems to be going a bit slow to the YouTube. That could. Maybe let's just. There we go. So I appear to be live on Twitch, live on YouTube. Seems to be going a bit slow to the YouTube. That. I got OBS up. Actually, will that work? Let's see. Oh, I'll open it. Professional, folks. I'm not professional. Hello. Uh, Currently I'm looking at the Stream Elements chat, see if that's going to work. How are you doing, Zoe? Also, I just remembered I need to adjust one of my Stream Elements commands because I'd only just created the command for Stream Elements and I just realized I need to just it probably doesn't do anything. But how are you doing, Zoe? I'm obviously very panicked. Yes, so it did work. I did set it up so it'll put it out automatic. I might reduce the timer for viewers be able to summit, but I also don't want to go having it spam too much. Yes, so yeah, Zoe is currently in chat. Uh, Pointed out this charity for me. I've been wanting to do some charity streams for a while. This is a little bit. It's a bit of a test, to be honest. It's a bit slapdash. It's a bit rough. I'm going to be looking at trying to do some tweaks, but it's a test. But hopefully, we'll still raise up some good funds. So I wanted to get started a little sooner than I did, but I'll be honest, I had pretty much nothing done set for commands or a pop up for when people would give a donation. So I kind of rushed that in the last hour. But I've got something at least. Next time, or maybe later on this week, I will work on improving this one. But this is a test one. But if anyone cares to share it out. Also, how is the audio? Because I'm not getting any audio from the game for some reason. Yeah, likewise. I understand. Check my desktop audio properties. That should be fine. Ah, there we go. It just doesn't start off with sound. Also, if I seem like I'm looking away, apologize. I have my webcam on one monitor and playing on another. Oh. So I've seen this played, and it looks kind of fun in a that's frustrating kind of way.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto, muto centena e di pensiero, seppe una rapide vecchia sorriso, rinesiente il riso era il soliero, le amanna e monti, le tornio malvencio, non viene ciò. Pensier,
I don't know how long that goes on for, but I was enjoying it. However, how does the sound? Oh, come on, with a beat that good, how does the volume sound? Though it just occurred to me of that might be a little bit loud. Well, you gotta appreciate the ADHD. Also, I do have supplies. I have the crackers, of course, the hot sauce. Let's not go into that too early. Plenty of googly eyes. I was concerned it might have been too loud. And I got a couple of boxes of these. Bean Boozled, I expect I might have excess. I'm sure. I hope I've got enough excess of the hot sauce, but when it comes, it comes. And also, hello, Tag.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto, muto centena e di pensiero, seppe.
I am legit tempted to keep that playing on, but we gotta advance. We gotta advance the things. But how are you guys doing? I do have, although I don't have the bar added, I do have. I wanted to add a stretch goal bar because I do have sub goal bars that require a little bit of attention. But like, I have a banana costume which I need to root out. I'm going. I plan to do a stream with that on a £50 goal. £100 goal. I'll do some kind of kids game. Not decided what. I mean, something like Peppa Pig, Paw Patrol, something like that. The bar, as in the. I can, but I'm not sure if it's useful. Well, here's the thing. See Pokemon, Pokegif audio. Thing is, I'm not sure if I think that's just like I'm not sure if that actually. Oh no, it does go. Oh, it actually does have a bar on it. I had misunderstood. I misunderstood what that is. So that actually does. I misunderstood what it was. I thought it was just a random bit of image at the bottom, at the top rather. Yep, this is a new fresh. I finished the last batch of Freshen Up. This is a new flavor. I think it's lemon and lime. Bit of a zing to it. Not bad, but I make it a little bit strong, and that has extra zing to it apparently. Let's see. see if I can. Nope, I think it's locked into there. So, I mean, if I'm going to set for there for now. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It's good flavor. It's a good flavor. It's not a bad flavor, but it's definitely got some zing to it. How are you doing, Lyndon? I'm also hoping that this combines the chats. We'll see. Anyway, back to slinging those saucies. Well, let's go quick. I do plan to try and there's certain games that will get certain exclusive incentives. There's a couple for this one where I can go back a level, go forward a level, or maybe even go back to the start. I'd welcome a back to the start button. I mean, see if I can find the right one. How does that look? Let's maybe reposition my webcam to down there. Nope, that still doesn't work. There we go. I do need to work on it some more. The £250 goal may be ambitious, but I mean, you have to give a certain amount of hype for the aims of the goals. Oh, well, I also need to remember to time the sausage right.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto, mutone centenaria di pensiero, seppe una rapide vecchia sorriso.
I mean, here's the deal. That's literally I put a stretch the screen. That is literally the entirety of the image. You're just seeing it. I think I need to do it in the root. Ah, that's where it is. I couldn't find the right tab for it. Okay, so 10A 1920. Is that right? Do we have it now? I
Siento il riso era il soliero, le donna e occhi le tornio malvencio, no viene cielo di pensier.
I think I am going to turn the sound a little bit because It sounds a little bit loud to me. Now on to the chili. I mean, I'm not denying it. I am enjoying it, but I am seeing the music bar go quite high when. To be fair, it's only loud with the music, so I don't want to turn it down too much. I mean, I'm curious to know if they've got if you could actually get the song in itself. I'm also curious to see the translation for it. Now, I will say, this pepper has got me concerned. Not for the pepper itself. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to be too much of a challenge, this one. If I can time it right. Yeah. That worked.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto, butone centena e di pensiero. Se
Nah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's a little terrifying. It's not that it's a mouth. It's that it's just the mouth. Like that definitely looks like some what? Donation? I did want to. I do intend to. The Bean Boozled. You wonderful bugger, Lyndon. So Lyndon has just given a nice £10 donation for Bean Boozled. The opening of the box. I mean, I say that the beans aren't that bad. I mean, I've looked at some of the flavors. There's a the burnt rubber sounds less than ideal. But the blue ones, that is glorious. Toothpaste or berry blue? It's win-win. Okay, so I don't know how to. I do have a little wheel though. So it's 7th edition. It's not coming up very well, but I'm aware the lighting is a bit off. Okay. I'm going to have to do it flat. I would like to do it on the stream, but I would need to get a new cat. If I have it like that, it will bias the wheel. Now, Lyndon, it clipped my thumb there. You can call for me to re-roll or keep what it is. Because it clipped my thumb. But it doesn't spin ideally, but it could have been pomegranate or old bandage, but instead it is peach and bar, a classic. I've not tried the pomegranate one. This one I remember. It's not ideal. I need to be sure to. My concern is I'll pick up the wrong one because the peach and bath looks a bit like the strawberry banana smoothie or the dead fish one. I think that's the yellow of the two. So that would be that one, I think. I believe it's that one. Well, we'll see. I some of them are easier to recognize than others. I believe that one to be Bath. It could have been worse. I'll continue to chew for as long as it lasts. Could be, could be. Could indeed be a peach stone Bath. I mean, at least it's just Bath flavored and not actual Bath. That'd probably get me in trouble on YouTube. Let's say there are probably places that would pay big money for it. But go on. Should we go for the nose? I will say possibly one of the worst states for this sausage to go would be in the nose to slip down into the mouth. I have heard that someone has managed to get into the nose before. I think it's included in this version. Future Machine Stinky Socks. Juicy Pair of Booger, Pomegranate, yeah, Pomegranate or Old Bandage. That is in there. And Zorian Tag, Scent. Oh, was that just a donation? If you want to, there is a reward that goes with it. I mean, they are up to 7 editions, so it could well be. Like, there was an option there for me to be going, yes, generous $5 donation, definitely. Are you just donating, or do you want me to do the? Because I'm willing to put one on, since this is the right price. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we're making surprising progress. Hey, we're definitely making more progress than I'm making of making this guy. I'm not. Unfortunately, it falls short on the donation. That's a £2,500 donation. I mean, it is a pack of 100, so like I will have plenty. Also, I need to figure out how to attach it. Uh-oh. I need to check on something because I may have done goof. No, it's self-adhesive. Right now, I thought that was just yeah, no daring and doing 6-7. Oh, I would if I had the glue. Sit. This is where it's useful to have to forget to trim your nails. There are other issues with not trimming your nails, so I do. It is self-adhesive as it said on the thing. Just can't figure out how to get the cover off it. How far does the cover go? That's the thing. I don't want to go. Hang on. Am I making progress? Oh yes. I'm making progress. Let's start with on the cheek. Oh, it does kind of show up at least. Now let's see if more come along to make me look like Diamondback. Which is an obscure reference. I mean, the one advantage of putting on this side is it's pretty easy to tell I've put it on. Although it does look like I've just got a random white spot. How is everyone doing out there in the world, though? Oh. Hey, SRM, how are you doing? I think this guy is hungry. My concern is that if I don't feed him soon, he may decide to try launching forward and eating the pan. I believe there's a way of creating a more shortcut version. Oh. I will say that they do seem to have done a good job of doing the face, though. Wait, I'm curious. Can I get over him, or do they go to extend till his eyes? Oh, there is the donation thing in there to get me to play as Spider-Man. Nah, I'm far from being a tosser. There we go.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto, mutono centenaria di pensiero, seppe una rapide vecchia.
I'm not the biggest opera fan, but little bits now and again are cool to hear. First try of getting the sausage on the sausage.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto, mutono centenaria di pensiero.
I mean, it is quite popular. I believe it's more popular on TikTok than Twitch, from what I've been seeing doing. That's the thing. It's also a nicely priced game. It's simple. It's frustrating, and you know how popular frustration games are. Oh. Thing is, I've seen people play bits of it, and I know some of the things that are coming on. Not quite 2 grand. But yeah, it was a bit of fun. Hey, sometimes you have to play the simpler games to appreciate the complicated games. Plus, some of the complicated games, they make too complicated in some ways, I think. I saw some, I don't know if it's a mod, but like, there was that one where a TikToker that plays it, they had, somehow you could use, give gifts. You could go, give it, so it's a big sausage, a long sausage, you can make the pan tiny. I don't know, I'm not sure how that works. I would have been interested in setting that up. Ooh. I mean, let's be fair here. Some of the best games some of them, the past 20 years, some of the best games have actually been kind of relatively simplistic. Binding of Isaac is simple yet complicated. Minecraft is one of the classic video games, and I hear they're going to be doing a big update where they're making it needlessly complicated. Whee! Whee! I should say sausage. I mean, thing is, Minecraft was a very simple game, and it works best because of its simplicity. Like, you can play it on a relatively potato compute system. And there are people that have do have high-end PCs that will go to play Minecraft as a popular game to play on it. I do think I need to wait for it to go and land into the thing. I believe one of the examples later on, one example of a frustrating one. I know there's one where it's basically keys. And thing is, it seems to play, that mode seems to play a bit like one of those what is it, that kind of arcade game where like the Plinko games? I seem to either keep falling short or overshooting. Whoa.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più s'el metto, muto centena e di pensiero.
I think it's a bit more like 5 minutes. But yeah, that's there are people who have done this enough that they know the tips, the little tricks of the trade. So if it Papas! See, I happen to be aware that, oh, that worked.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più s'el metto, muto centena e di pensiero. pensiero. Se
I've seen it where someone tried resting on the pant and the dog at the same time, and this one I figure could go either way. We need to land this sideways. Oh, oh.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto.
That landed like an S. Hmm. Have a think. Now, and let's disregard the fact that it looks a little bit like he's taking a poop. Like, to be fair, sometimes you have your best ideas when you're taking a little poop.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto.
I am genuinely curious. How long is that music? I'm a little scared that it might go on for ages. I love the idea, but I'm also concerned that it'll go on so long. It probably. Yep. Like, sometimes they give you relatively easy ones. I mean, the way to look at it, Lyndon, is not. But I mean, I see it as a teacup. You should go looking at it more of a coffee mug. There you go, Lyndon. And it's certainly not. Let's be fair. It's certainly not the kind of fancy teacup where you have to put your pinky up. Oh, oh. I'm thinking I might have to have sausages for tea now because I'm craving sausages. I I haven't quite decided what to be streaming tomorrow. What I'm thinking is I might start off with a few hours of Marvel Rivals, which will give people a chance to get me to play as Spider-Man. I think I need to tweak that one though because I've got it. Whoa! There we go.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto, butone centenario.
I mean, in my head, I'm hearing I like Cornetto, give it to me. But almost certainly it's gotta be something sausage related. And if it wasn't something sausage related with the opera, I'd be a bit disappointed. I mean, it's a weird game about sausages. No ice cream.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto, butone centenario.
I mean, I was a touch worried about it, but not majorly so. Thing is, it does sound a bit like it might be an actual classical bit of opera, like a classic bit of opera. But since I don't really know opera, is that a link for the music? Oh, like thing is, I was thinking. Here's the thing. I was thinking that does sound familiar. And it, like I said, I'm not an expert on classic on opera, but let's be fair, Pavarotti is iconic, or at least used to. I don't know if he's as iconic as he used to be, because I feel like it might be like a bit like a reference to Gilbert and Sullivan, of which I know. I'll be honest, it's a reference I know from elsewhere more so than from them originally. I know the Gilbert and Sullivan reference from Star Trek more so than from the Gilbert and Sutherland stuff themselves. Nay, that didn't land on my head. I'm curious. Who are there? I wonder if we'll see other chess pieces in the future. That said, I kind of prefer it that they just keep doing it at random. I mean, a rook would be easier than the knight, I feel. So if they did the rook later on. Andrea Bocelli. Bocelli, the name Bocelli springs something to mind. I gotta like, I click the button to go. It is quite a simple play of the game as well. Like, you don't need to go hyper typing. It's just a click of the fingers for the mouse. I tend to wonder if being blind can actually. I'm not saying being blind automatically makes you a good singer, but I tend to wonder if, like, because you focus a bit more on the senses of hearing, you have a. I feel like it comes off wrong by saying it's an advantage of being deaf. Oh, been a while since anyone's done the quest. I'll join you. I've been meaning to get round to go. Oh, I was considering removing that because it's hard. It hardly gets used. For anyone out there wondering, I'm talking about on YouTube. I'm talking about AdaBot. It's a level of AI I don't mind too much because it's just a bit of fun. Also, I think it's more of an bit of indie AI. Oh, we got closer that time with the horse. It actually landed on the horse. But did it stay? Nay! I'll get my code. Come on! It had to, that joke had to be done though. Oh, I will say when I was, well, I mean, someone was gonna do it, and I might as well take the hit for the team. Ooh. There was a possibility I was going to do some Fortnite instead, because I did a bit of was doing a bit of Fortnite with a friend who. There should be potions in the inventory. Horsey time!
I ciappi apparatino, qual più se il metto, mutone centena e di pensiero, seppe una...
Oh, I remember this one. This one is awkward. Also, if anyone wants to do clips, I think I got that enabled. It's been too long since I've seen them made. Ooh. Okay. I'm not getting any reach right now. And that's why it's a challenge, because you have to loop it up. Although right now I don't see people going anywhere near the momentum. I mean, to be fair, I suppose it's because it's stopping me just short where it would be reaching the momentum. Okay, folks, buckle up, because this is a long one. Not the sausage, I'm talking about the beef. Ah. Do I need to... So I think for the height, I need to land it as it's falling. Because it kind of helps it bounces out with its own momentum. Because it does have a certain physics-based element to it. Don't worry, it's only going to be another 2 hours of me doing this. Thing is, unless people want to donate and force me backwards. Ah, yes. Oh! So I sent it launching forward to bounce back. Ooh. The good thing is, it's like these bags are not bad. They don't give a bad amount of beans to them. Oh, closer. Nah. Like it kind of curved around up, then curved itself back around the thing. The thing is that I can tell that this one has to be done on the initial launch, because otherwise it's either going to slide off with not enough momentum, or it's just going to slide backwards, as we've seen before. Ah, yes. Go ahead. Just tossing my sausage up over and over again. Oh! I am genuinely curious to know how you guys would do at this. I figure Lyndon will has already got 100%ed it. The completionist that he is. Oh. I mean, I prefer it when I at least hit the beat, because even if I'm not getting it, I'm at least... Oh! It actually was quicker than I was expecting.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più se il metto, metto butone centenario.
I would like to say that's actually quite a good look they've gave to that bird then. So I think we've got a slight variation on the mug from earlier. But unlike the mug, if we get it into the thing, we'll be able to actually see it. Oh, I think I overshot. Yes. Oh, yes. But how are you doing, SRM? Oh? Oh. I mean, I hit the top at least. It's definitely going to be harder than the mug because it's smaller brim. No, that's good to hear. There we go. Who would like a glass of sausage?
I ciappi apparatino, qual più se metto.
I'm getting sizzles. Well, I guess we're putting it into where we'll end up earlier than expected. So I think, from what I was surprising this, I think the easier way to get this one is actually get it on top. Although I know you can get it inside, I think it's a bit more awkward. Oh.
I ciappi apparatino.
They're also this game is only like a couple of quid, and there actually are quite a few things they've put in to try and hit. You didn't hear that. You saw it, but you didn't hear it. Like, can you get it inside the ear? Oh, overshot. Tegan Zoe, are you looking forward to climbing that, being chained together to go up the Zikr lickety split? Don't know why I'm making the Red Dwarf reference. I believe there's at least one Hell reference in Red Dwarf, but I mean, I say Hell. It was an incarnation of. It was like a Psy moon where they end up landing on, where basically they got an incarnation of Lister's self-loathing. Oh, I mean, I hit the ear at least. Unlike that time. Not gonna lie. I can still taste the bath bean. Do you hear me? I can still hear the bath bean. I hope you heard that, Lyndon. I still taste the bath bean. But I mean, it's not a bad way to go. I know that soon as someone I know in one of the streams where there's someone who's going to be going straight to the hot sauce, which I need to set, like the Spider-Man, I need to take away the Spider-Man quantity restriction and put in a once per donation, and I need to make sure that the hot sauce is set as once per donation. Just give me a bit more time to pace out the hot sauce. Also, thanks guys! It's good. I'm really...
I ciardi apparatino, qual più s'è il metto, muto innocente ma di pensiero, seppe una rapide vecchia sorriso, ive siente il riso e nel soliero, le amanna e monti.
Yeah, by the way, these are actually prescription. Like, I'm not just putting on, I'm not taking away sunglasses, I'm not taking away glasses that help me see to put on random sunglasses. Well, a couple of goals will be consistent. The ones that'll send me back or forward a level or make me restart. But this one is specific to this game. I'm going to untick them at the end of the thing. Ooh. Come on. Please. Yes, very much. Thanks for the help, Zoe. Oh! I turned round just to see it going down there. I mean, I'm switching back to my regular glasses. It's not that I can't use the sunglasses. I mean, perhaps that's something I could throw in. Like, I could have done it where I have the stream for I don't think I'd do it as a donation. Maybe I could do it as a channel points button. The reason for it being more likely a channel points rather than a donation is it's how long would I do it for? Like, I mean, I can't charge much for just switching up my glasses because it's not that much of a detriment. It doesn't make me look that, doesn't add that much of a cool factor to me. I mean, not that shades can't be cool, but shades can accentuate coolness. They themselves do not automatically make someone cool. Plus, not everyone of course, putting on sunglasses might make you look cool. It doesn't automatically make you cool. Ooh. Ooh. Saucy. I have been mulling over if I was to go over 250, what I would maybe do for extra goals, but there's a couple of reasons I'm tentative about setting a goal higher than 250. Partly being that I actually think 250 might be a little ambitious in and of itself. Like, because I will say, as cool as Pavarotti's singing is, could you imagine trying to focus on getting the sausage onto the things while perpetually dealing with Pavarotti's singing? it would go on to become an obstacle that eventually would become annoying rather than a cool reward for successfully. See, I left it too long. It does seem to lose its momentum with a bit of time. Whee! But as I said, I might be having sausages later on. I'm curious. What is everyone else planning to have? Is anyone else considering having sausages because of the game? Oh, overshot. Like I said, if I at least touch, that's got to be overshot quite a bit. If I at least touch it, then I've at least gone part way. What I find interesting is that this actually should be easier than the hummingbird. I feel. It probably actually still is easier than the hummingbird, but I'm starting to question that. Oh, to be fair, if it was just a T, it would totally have been done by now. But then, of course, that's just a matter of getting the right curve to land on a flat surface. Oh, nah, close though. I do feel that where the way the sausage lands has a big impact on your ability to launch it. Like, I think you get a bit more launch if you get right on more of the end landing on it. So I noticed that when it's flatter, it goes more sideways than up. Oh, oh, 2, 3. That said, I did hit the edge. Also, what is your favorite sausage? I suppose is an interesting question. I presumably, like, presumably vegans will favor vegan sausage. Although I've heard that. I think I've heard that sometimes there are some people that there are people that are like non-vegetarian, non-vegan, who do prefer the meat alternative sausages or burgers or what have you sometimes. That said, I don't think I've heard of. Was it with bread? There was something about bread that comes in the. I don't think it's not yeast. Uh, Anyway, there's a version of bread where it's one of the free from range where apparently it never comes out well. Like, Like it sounds like it's pretty much untoastable. Just like I'm starting to wonder if this sausage is uncatchable. Thing is, I know it's possible because I know the people that have passed this section. But I mean, I will say Lincolnshire is a good sausage choice. I mean, whenever I think of sausages, usually the classic one I tend to think of is sausages, and the dog turns around saying walls. Great ad. I don't know how good. Ah, you're joining. You're joining in the fray, SRM. Have you? Did you just get it and start it now, or do you actually? I think it's usually Richmond's I tend to go for. Well, we all know how much of a tosser you are, SRM. Well, you're probably a greater tosser than me. Go, go on, SRM. Get that sausage in that mouth. Feed that man his meat. Oh, I mean, to be fair, the mouth one wasn't too bad. And I do like the way it usually lands at it looking like you're just giving him returning his tongue. This one, however, nice. This one, however, seems to be proving a bit more of a challenge. So I either overshoot, either like that. I overshoot just enough to get the other side, and it flops off, or it just hits the side of this and flops off on this side. Maybe I should consider. Maybe I should consider moving my webcam onto the screen I use mainly for gaming. But part of the trouble is, it's kind of the difference between PC gaming and console gaming. When I'm console gaming, I'm facing this way. When I'm PC gaming, I'm facing this way. Meanwhile, the screen in the middle is what I use for keeping an eye on the chats, make sure all the sound levels are working. The latter is more theoretical because we both know that I usually fail to account for. Oh, see, overshot, undershot, sausaging free. I'm trying to figure out why I had the Wombles reference pop up in my head, and I figured out why. There was reason in an ADHD group I'm in. There was some point it ended up coming about we're talking about old shows and some certain shows that they shouldn't do remakes. And one of the things it went on to is the Wombles, which apparently they did several remakes of. Yeah, I'll say, Ella Ghost, how are you doing? Whoa! I gotta say, I'm really not used to this kind of crowd. Not too bad. Apparently, the questions are, are not pleased with me, but I can't blame them. AR, Cthulhu for tugging and all that jazz. Oh, there's also another unfortunate side effect of this is that this game is actually making me hungry. Had to adjust positioning of my floorboards. I mean, there are old stories about the time period of now I kind of want to rewatch Blackadder. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, you kind of have to. If you don't remember the show, there was an episode where he became the Archbishop, where Blackadder became the Archbishop of Canterbury. Good episode, not the best. That literally sprung from the top. It hit the bit here, and whoop, everybody loves a saucy. Except when it becomes a slinky, apparently. See, the real funny here is this isn't even one of the hard ones. This is not meant to be one of the hard ones. It isn't. But I can do it. What I know is all I need to do is for them to drop an actual sausage rather than a rubber toy sausage. I think that's what's going on. They're replacing these sausages with toy sausages. Stop giving me these dog toys. Is it? There should be a setting. I feel like I saw that somewhere. There should be a setting somewhere so you can actually see the amount of attempts it took to get it on there. But then I guess if you have to step back at it, how do you do for the counts then? Oh, it's overshot. Precisely overshot. Only like an inch or two, I believe, between the sausage and the cross. No. Oh, no, no! It was there! It was there! We had it! And then... Oh. Oh, oh! I'm getting closer! But it's not wanting to... And then an overshoot. Undershoot, overshoot, wombling free. Honestly, I am... Like, this is weird. This is a weird game that's simultaneously relaxing and frustrating. Oh, no. No. Oh. Oh!
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto, mutone centena e di pensiero.
That looked like it should have been falling off there, but I'm not going. I'm not going to complain about that because so long. It's been 84 years. I believe that's the relevant mean. See, well, yeah. I'm guessing you've already surpassed me as the SRM. The rate you were going through. So we are. I'm curious. Isn't Tung 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 to Saw copyrighted? I mean, I heard there was something about a lawsuit going on over here or something. I'm not sure if that was real or if it's just. I don't know if it qualifies as rage bait. I mean, I would kind of like to get. Would kind of like to see Pinky play this game, just to see her reaction when she hit this level. He definitely loves Tung 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 to Saw. There we go. Tung 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 to Saw has now got a hat.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto.
I mean, who needs a sombrero or a top hat when for a hat you could just have sausage? It's a hat and a snack. What Tung 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 to Saw? Do you know Tung 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 to Saw is or do you mean about the Tung Tung Tung? Do you know about the Italian brain rot stuff? Like there's there's a bunch of uh it's usually things an animate like maybe some kind of animal crossed with an inanimate object. Like there's a baller, ballerino cappuccino, which is like a woman that's one of those rounded coffee cups for a head, and but it's right a ballerina. And then there's there's like a crocodile crossed with an airplane. It's quite. I like the way long enough for it to completely stop wobbling. The egg. I check. I check the settings for something. Window resolution, sound. Because I'm sure I saw something where you can actually see. There's a bit at top that said. Here's what we've already completed: 8, 12, 16, 20. So this is number 21. Oh, like this is an egg, but I think it's meant to be a particular kind of egg. Like is it like 1,000 years egg or something like that? Which I believe or a century egg or something. Whee, complete with. Yeah, I'm losing. ADHD moment. Don't worry. I'll zoom back in. I gotta say, I'll zoom back in, and there I got it for you. But I didn't get it. I'm curious how, like, and a question I've heard that someone pointed out, which I feel is valid. Who comes up with these ideas? I mean, it's great, but it's so weird. I mean, I was gonna say, is sausage and egg a thing? And I remembered, of course, it is. Like the classic British breakfast: sausage, egg, and beans, with maybe a bit of bacon, maybe some hash browns. I mean, it landed on top and slid right off, but that's getting closer to what we need. It resting on top. That's overshot. Okay, Womble's reference popped into my head again. Why? Seriously. Actually, is there a Womble's video game? I know it sounds random, and that's probably because it is. But, like, is there maybe a Wind in the Willows game been made? I know, I think it was from the 80s. They did do like a stopgap animation series, which I remember liking. Then I know they did I believe they did an animated series. Didn't they have? I'm sure they did a big, a big end live version where they had Toad being played by that guy from Little Britain. Oh, again, that was closer again. Now, if we can just get to land on top and then stay. Nope, we can get to overshot again. I have, here's the thing, I have had ones where I managed to get on it first try, but I've definitely had starting to approach. There we go.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto, mutone centena e di pensiero, seppe una...
Wasn't the guy who wasn't the guy who voiced the Wombles like on Doctor Who? There we go.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto.
I mean, well, I think I heard it recently of, because I think there was a TikTok that did like a little in memory of type fit short. Like it's like I believe it was like he was in early Doctor Who. He then came back later. I think it was as Alfred. More recently in the Donna Noble years. I'm curious. I think he's supposed to have done a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, no, not bad. The old Amstrad Commodore and Spectrum series. They don't make them like that anymore. I stay like it's like those were peak. They did have some good stuff on it. I will say that. However, on the other side of that coin is they also weren't peak. This day and age, I can't really say we're at the peak of gaming. That being said, from someone who is playing a game about flinging a sausage onto random objects, but well, as that big issue isn't there, where the games companies are trying to take away your right to own your games. Oh, that didn't take too many attempts. Oh, you're seeing what I'm not seeing, right? Or are you not seeing what I'm not seeing? Nope. Should be that way. You're not seeing what I'm not seeing, right? I'm sure there's something there, but okay, so accidentally clicked out of the game. The hell? I've not seen this. I've not. I don't know what word is to use here. Although I do find it interesting that they went for an invisible woman rather than an invisible man. I mean,
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto.
it took me less time to get on. Yeah. It took me less time to land on something invisible than to land on that cross. I feel like the cross is meant to be harder. Needs a little bit more momentum. Why is it that in my head that kind of makes me think, oh, that looks a little bit. This is, for some reason, this is giving me SCP vibes.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto.
So I'm guessing that this is going to. I'm guessing that this is going to go and actually stick the thing, because if it's not. That wasn't too bad.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto.
It got stuck in a weird position. Okay then. Who called for the feet stuff? What the hell? I mean, I'm not going to diss you if you're into feet stuff. It's just, why? Then again, I jumped to talking about it being feet stuff rather than just it just being shoes. But it's the internet. Yeah,
I ciappi apparatino.
I try to figure out why my cheek felt weird from that, and then realized, oh, it's having the googly eye stuck to it. We've got to land on butter. Now, if you could just cut down into a few pieces, I cut a bit off of that, slap it onto some bread, we have the ideal thing to put the sausage into.
I ciappi apparatino. Qual più se il metto.
I will say the stream on Restream does seem to be a lot shorter than it appears to be. I'm guessing that the chat I'm seeing on Restream is the YouTube Restream. So when we add the butter, I suppose it makes sense for them to throw in the corn. I mean, I think I am. I'm just saying that the Twitch and the YouTube stream seem to be a bit out of sync. Overshot, undershot, sausaging free. I definitely need to have sausage for tea today. And interestingly, although there are certain aspects of this that can be frustrating, it's still a lot more chill than Marvel Rivals. That said, that's not really that hard to do. I like Marvel Rivals. That's why I'm probably only going to do. That's why I'm probably going to do what I've done previously, which is play about 2 hours of Marvel Rivals, switch over and do an app. Don't want to do Squitchy Scratch because I'm partway through Squitchy Scratch. I'm not sure I want to do that. But I mean, there's other chill game options out there, so maybe I could dip into a bit of Retro Rewind. Start making a little bit of that money in preparation for the update coming to. And the fact that there's a general rule, I'm thinking I'm going to be cutting down someone doing the rivals. I will say I was divvying over in the message whether to div over putting in the non-refundable, but given on the site they kept on. About mentioning that it is a non-refundable donation. I thought it was worth throwing in just for safety's sake. It does kind of make me sad at the fact that there are people that would go to give out a charity donation, then look for a refund. Unfortunately, it's just how people are. Not everyone is mindful. But although, like, I feel like that's a very poor joke. Because unfortunately, it's true. Yeah. Hopefully we managed to raise a little bit. Oh, see, I am trying to multitask. My ADHD goes and tries to focus and do a bit of a spiel. Then it goes back to it then got distracted as I thought I was going to land on the corn. And no, I don't mean that kind of corn. Not like that said, I don't use the word corn. It's one of the reasons I'm not sure if I could stream on TikTok, because I can imagine getting flags all over the place. Because I am not someone who is inclined to submit to their random wording rules. And I'm not too keen on the fact that it seems to be more arbitrary than YouTube on who will be flagged and who won't. I mean, YouTube can already be arbitrary enough. Same with Twitch. Like, because I remember there was, almost had it on there. Wasn't there the controversy over a Twitch ambassador not that long ago? Was either a Twitch ambassador or a Magic the Gathering ambassador. Glenn, I think that there's been cases. It might be a case of separate cases with both those groups, though. Not that I think I would be very good as a Twitch or Magic the Gathering ambassador. I mean, there's elements where I would take the view of I could potentially be better. Sometimes I see someone I think I could maybe be better than them. Which it's a bit like Prime Minister. There are certain candidates. I'm not going to go into naming them because I don't want to get too far into. I don't want to fall into it. There's certain candidates that I would say I could be a better Prime Minister than, but I should not be Prime Minister. But I intend to stop it there because I don't want. Well, it's not good for anyone's mind to go thinking too much. Well, politics is important, unfortunately, and it's not directing at any particular group, but just in general, it's kind of a dumpster fire. Sausage fire is best. Fire is best, but fire is best used for cooking a nice, tasty sausage. That we do. And now you got me. Now you got me wondering. Will we be seeing? I'm now wondering if this will trigger a game where someone has a game where you just have to fling poop at something and make it stick, like at random objects. Because this is becoming big, and we've seen it before. When a game becomes big, there's usually a bunch of rip-off games that lead to it. Like look at Supermarket Sim. Yeah, probably. I'm actually trying to think if I've maybe seen one like that already. But I could see fresh versions of it being brought out because of this. But yeah, like Supermarket Sim is an easy example. Look at how many sim games there are for various kinds of supermarkets. Trading card sim. Uh, I the bit I one of the funniest I find is waifu pillow shop sim. Uh, but then again, just in general, there's so many sim games now. I think the one that I think what was it that kicked it off? Yeah, and I mean, let's be fair, Retro Rewind is kind of a rip off of that as well, but it is a rip off that has been kind of. I feel like they put some of them do have some interesting twist on them that gives them a bit of originality. Yeah, but I also suspect that Supermarket Sim. I do think Supermarket Sim was the first of that kind of sim game. So like any other. However, I do think that's. I think Power Wash Sim was the game that really managed to. Uh, almost got it. Power Wash Sim, I think, is the game that really exploded the fresh wave of sim games. Suddenly going from. I mean, there was like Farming Sim, and then there was Airplane Sim, and Airplane Sim was big. But I think it like power like was it Power Sim or Gas Station Sim that came first? I think it might have been like one of those two that like started off and then it grew and it's grown and it's grown. Bit like how I would say like Binding of Isaac was the first game that's I think there were probably roguelikes and roguelites before that, but that one triggered exponential growth in there to being a vast amount of the roguelikes and roguelites games. And then you have like for a while you had a bit of an uprise in story heavy games with choices matter on. I think it was. I think it was it the Telltale games I'm thinking of that started off a game series that had a good idea, but unfortunately, with how the consumer market was, they ended up falling through. But they did so many they did such a good job at bringing some good story games into the world. The trouble is that the episodic element just didn't work out for them because they would release an episode, but people would wait until like the full series was out before they went and bought it. Which is a shame because what they do, I think they did a Batman one, they did a Guardians of the Galaxy one. I remember seeing Tag do the Minecraft one for the big stream where he broke 1,000,000 points. course, that was back in the Mixer days. For like, I am. If I was paranoid, I would actually wonder if there was if Twitch didn't in fact make a secret deal with Microsoft to get them to sell off. Like maybe they helped broker a deal to and say you do this and we'll help you with future things, and because it's growing and we're starting to get concerned about that one because it's becoming popular enough that in time it may actually become. I don't want to go rushing to say that I think Mixer could have surpassed Twitch, but I don't want to dismiss that possibility of having it could have happened, because, and especially when you go seeing some of the key errors. Like I know right now there's at least one streamer that's looking at trying to sue Twitch for a simple case in point. But I do think that was probably more of an Amazon decision than a Twitch decision, but I don't know. I'm just a little guy, little lad here, just going on, just flinging sausages at corn. I'm trying to get it to fling it onto corn, but it's wanting to either overshoot or undershoot. It seems to be trying to go. It seems to want to be sizzling free. I'm assuming that I'm meant to be bouncing it on top, and that it won't work to just try and get into the slide to slide down, and it gets it that way. Like I do know that I feel like the cross was more an awkward shape. Here I'm just not landing it onto the thing in general. Although I will say I do think it is harder than like the shoe or the, is it Chinese writing? Because that's the thing. I do seem to be tending to either overshoot or undershoot, with usually at best only clipping it. So that's right. If you're looking in there, how far have you gotten through the game? Also, weren't you streaming tonight, Lyndon? I seem to remember. I believe today or tomorrow I saw something about Power Sim. There we go.
i giatti apparatino, qual più selvetto.
Is corn a common go-to mixture with like is corn a common thing to be go pairing with sausage in the US? I'm curious. I don't think we have much corn in the UK. I'm guessing the game is called Mexican Ninja, and it's not a person that has given you a game. And I don't think I've ever had corn, so I can't comment. But yeah, but are you saying that the game is called Mexican Ninja? Mainly, I'm wondering, is it kind of a stealth game, or more of just need a slight nudge further to the right and it would have gone on. Now I go too far to the right. I do feel like this cat is likely to be easier than the corn, but then I'm kind of, I could be wrong on that. Uh, fair, fair. There are game studios that where they name their studio, it can be named after their first game though. Usually, I believe it's usually tied in with kind of indie games. I may be mistaken about this being easier than the corn though, since it seems to just like sliding over the top for the most part. You know, when I actually get on the top, I mean. And not like, well, get on the top and not over the top. Should be more accurate. Like the fact that it's got ninja in the name does suggest to me that is a stealth game, but then again, it could be. I found it interesting to hear that apparently samurai swords are actually not that good. Like, and the fact that the metal tends to be forwarded 1,000 times is apparently. I know this is a bit of a different tangent, but apparently the reason that the samurai sword has to be 1,000 times is not because it's a masterwork, but more often because they tended to use poor metals, so they kind of had to forward it 1,000 times in order to get rid of all the impurities that were in there, or what have you. Which does. I figured it could have gone either way, because the fact that it's a ninja does hint at it being a stealth game. Oh, oh! It stuck for a second or two. What I need is about halfway in between those two things. Well, you know. Oh, oh, ah. And at least it clipped the hat rather than all the way over. Yeah, I'm guessing that tomorrow was when you were doing the Power Wash Sim 2. So I do remember seeing that on your list. It seems that I'm failing to. Yeah. Uh, that one I can't make since these days. Well, I mean, I might drop by before I get started myself. How not to Stray 4? Maybe I should give Knights of the Old Republic a go. I'm pretty sure I got at least the second one. I don't know why it occurred to me to maybe give that a go. I was trying to remember why I was going. I was going to say maybe on Wednesday. I then remembered. Oh, I'd made arrangements for Wednesday. Wednesday with Tag and Zoe, we will be doing some Chain Together. I'm going to drag them down repeatedly, I'm sure. Oh, oh, oh!
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto.
That it actually did bring feet into it. It actually did bring feet into this game.
I ciappi apparatino, qual.
So I was about to say, I wonder if we'll be seeing something hand related soon. I was in my head, I was imagining a different digit. Now the foot one, I figured would be easy. This one, I think, is going to be more on the hard side. Overshot. It's actually kind of. I'm thinking that right now what this is fitting of is kind of like Thing, which now reminds me I still need to return to Wednesday because I'm only like 4 or 5 episodes into the first season. There we go.
I ciappi apparatino, qual.
Still easier than the cross and the corn. I think this one needs to be hit just the right amount of power with pretty much dead in the center. I don't think it's the hardest one, but I do think it's. I'm guessing does need to be done pretty much like that.
I ciappi apparatino.
I mean, we're starting to work through them now. We're starting to plow through. Yeah, I was thinking on the initial arc of, and I was about to say of, that's going to overshoot. I was hoping I'd be proven wrong. An American football. I'm trying to think if I can think of something that I do to add in as motivators for the Fortnite stream on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. It occurred to me I might need to move my camera because I just realized if I do get any donations, I've got it set for where my camera was.
I ciappi apparatino.
Okay, I have a theory about what is meant to happen here. My guess is we can somehow get the sausage to stick on the sword. But I think it needs to be angled right and get a bit more power. Or it might just go on this section bit of where the sword goes to the fin. I'm curious, has anyone gone through another barbecue this summer? I know there was a neighbor. Oh. I know there's one of my neighbors had run it. Unfortunately, the time they were running it, I couldn't do because work. Unfortunately, I can't go abandoning things like work. Oh, so I don't. I was thinking of it could possibly stick on the end of the swordfish, but I'm guessing it won't do that. Makes me a little sad. I'm also aware that's going to be. It's also going to make it more awkward for trying to actually land the sausage. Because I'm more leaning towards overshooting it with this one than undershooting. I mean, that said, I then proceed to just have a string of undershooting, of course, because that's how it goes. Crazy, but that's how it goes. Millions of people living, I suppose. And to prevent copyright, I'm going to stop there. But I I feel like he's had just a touch too much momentum, just a touch. Otherwise, that had far too much momentum. Too much momentum. I think the momentum was fine on there. I think the trouble was, I gave it too much height, and then of course I overcompensate by giving it not enough height. Oh, 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 oh. Oh no, 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 no. For some reason I've got song lyric that's going to go completely wide. For some reason I've got song lyrics trying to pop into my head randomly. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, stop! I'm starting to increase the frequency. I can at least get it onto the sword a bit, at least. And then I completely and then I return to overcompensating undershooting again. Oh, like if the sword did work, I feel sure that it would have stuck on it that time. I mean, I do feel I've been close a few times, but like, thing is, have you seen the P's yet, SRM? On a stream I watched, one streamer, they managed to get it. I believe he said that his viewers kept him on the P's for half an hour because whenever he got close, because whenever he would get it, they would send him back. But and that's partly why I did as incentives for this get overshot. No. Yes. For a second there, I legit thought I had it. It legit seemed to be there. Then, having looked like it had stopped, it suddenly randomly gained momentum and fell off. What the hell, man? You weren't there, man. You weren't there. Thing is, as I say, I would rather, if I at least hit it, then I would know I'm at least making contact. It's when I fall wide off. Seriously, since it's called a swordfish, I do feel it's a bit disappointing that it won't stick on the end. I I realize that a swordfish's nose actually isn't that sharp, but like this is a game where you just got just got a fish floating in the air, where you're dropping a dangling sausage into a floating pan. Nope, overshot. Yeah, fair enough. Like, yeah, you gotta get that stuff done. Trust me, I know. See, it happened again. It looked like it's gonna stop, and it just see. Sometimes I have trouble telling this. It looks like it's going to stop. It looks like it's going to keep going, but it just randomly stops. Sometimes in odd angles, and then it's then there are times where it's the case of I don't know. Yeah, that was an overshoot. I'll say this: I don't mind it, but I do think that this needs to be made sure it is cool. Once it warms up, it's really not like it's not a bad flavor, but it's really not a great flavor either. Oh, oh, oh! You like? I do feel like this one has become to the level of like the crop. Oh,
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto.
you saw that grinning mouth, right? I've clipped my hair into my cap. I need to step away for a moment. I'm probably gonna put my drink into the fridge, but I need to adjust my cap. Does it move? And from the way it seems, it should be quite easy. If anything, it looks like it should be the easiest one to do. So there must be some kind of trick with it. Yep. I can see why it's going. I can see why this one is going to be a headache. When you said it, like when I first saw it, I thought this looks too easy. Then when you said it was hard, it's a case of the only way it can really be a challenge is if it does not stay still. I feel like what I need to do it now is I need to try and I'm guessing you've already 100%ed this game, SRM? See, this this at least I can feel alright about not getting. Fair. So I've caught up with you. I mean, you've gone to. I mean, you've gotten. I've gone to where you are. What? How long you spend? Half an hour there, Miss? Maybe. And all it took me was 2 hours and 20 minutes. But to be fair, I am not. I'm not a good shot. I can see how it has to be done. Oh, so you've managed to rush your way up to this point. See, I can tell the issue is what I need to do is I need to get the board leveled back out and hit it dead center. I can tell that that's what's going to be needed. But the trouble is going to be getting it back to level out. Because right now I'm either undershooting or overshooting again. So I need it to. So I want to get mostly center, slightly to the right, so as it will slide down and it will readjust itself. Until what I need to get what I need to do. Actually achieving it, of course, is another matter. Oh. Oh. I mean, I've only got about 40 minutes. I'm not counting the times that I stopped and started as part of the stream. But I will need a little bit of time to do closing spiels. And while it's a little tempting to keep going, while I think I can go for about another 40 minutes. The fact is that I am, as I said earlier, these sausages are making me hungry. That said, I like I've had received generous donations of a total of £15, which it's short of my mark, but frankly, every pound donated, it helps towards a good cause. Oh! I feel like I almost had that, and I'm happy the fact that I got as close as I did. But I'm annoyed by the fact that I'm back to being the awkward position I was about 5 minutes ago. I mean, it's slightly less tilted, which could be a benefit. Overshot. Oh. Unfortunately, it didn't slide down as I needed it to. I mean, thing is, to go burning up a shop to get readjusted is not a terrible usage. Although I think that after it hit, it finished about pretty much about where it started there, so that's a big overshot. What level is? How many? I mean, I do know that before I finish, I will be counting how many levels I got through. I'm not used to having googly eyes on my cheek. I am, however, going to try and put on. The lighting is not ideal right now, which I apologize. Even moving in closer, there's a bit of a limit as to how much you can help. I'll try and move in closer. As you can see, there's my new fan right there. And I've not had much use of it because by the time it would have been useful. $35? Oh, it's a level 35. I think that's respectable. I don't know what the map. Whoa. I mean, I tend to suspect there are 41 people that managed to get ones like these on first shot, but from beginning to end, because they were potentially done it so much. Actually, can you imagine that as a challenge? From start, you have to do this from beginning to end. You have to do it in one shot, or you have to start at the beginning. I think that'd be a cool challenge to see someone do. It's not a challenge I'm going to take up, but I think it would be cool to see someone do. Oh. Son of a sausage. So right now I still haven't fully. I know from 12 till 3 it will be fortnight. I haven't decided what the 9 till 12 will be for sure. Like I said, my leaning is start off with a bit of Marvel Rivals because I do have an a donation goal that could include. However, I do know I intend to do it on Friday, and I might prefer to do it Friday and Sunday rather than Tuesday and Friday. I'm not sure I want to do Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday because I like Rivals, I do, but I feel like I may have the goal in there, but I feel like that would include some burnout. And I don't want to go doing burnout. I mean, I'm not saying I'll do burnout from the stream. I think I'm gonna do burnout from streaming Rivals. What I find interesting though, SRM, is you say you've done it. We have no proof because you're not streaming it. Or are you secretly streaming it? Actually, that could be a fun little co-stream. Get a few of us together. You, me, Tag, and Zoe. maybe Ghost. We each just play this, and now and again we check in of saying how far we've advanced. It's a load of it's a lot where we just have a load of banter. But meanwhile, we set ourselves a challenge of seeing who can get through it first. My money is my way. Well, not that way to be actually doing extra money, but my wager would be on Zoe. I think Zoe was presenting an act earlier on where she said she would be bad at it. I think she would get a 97% of them done first time. There are a couple that might take her 2 or 3 shots, maybe. But she'd plow right through, and by the time we've done our introductions, Zoe said, "Well, I'm done. How far are you guys?" Zoe. So in order to prove that, you'll have to stream it. Genuinely, some of these levels really are quite easy. Right now, though, I'm wanting to Cartman it up. All right then, board. You're breaking my balls. Balls, breaking them. I seem to keep rotating it horizontally, just around in circles. I keep doing like 108, like near enough 180-degree rotations. Or slight nudges like that. But Zoe, I think that this would take you 4 attempts? 4? No. Because I have to bring myself up, I'm going to guess 5. I'm going to guess it's going to take you 5 whole attempts to get this one done. To quote the Raven, nevermore. The element is certain one of these is tempting to give up on one of them. But the thing is that the only way I can go from this point is backwards. See, that's why if someone was to tell me it's give out a donation to go skipping a level right now, I might have to say that I'm going to have to go backwards instead of forward. I would not go doing no moving if they did, because they put the effort to put the donation in. Go on, Zoe, stream it. Let's see you in action. Oh, did you hear about the BS that the UK government is trying to go pulling on YouTube, and how it's actually being pushed forward? It's not guaranteed yet, but they may be going towards setting it so that YouTube will have to sideline any other creators' content as they bump up all the news stuff up to the top. And the thing is, that's not, nor was it ever meant to be what YouTube was about. I mean, there's been some various dips down over the course of YouTube's history in the last few years. That would, at least in the UK, that would nosedive it. For a moment there, I thought the sausage was going to land right on top with the board upright. Unfortunately, it's just rotated it around. Yeah. Thing about that, the issue with that is, first they'll go for YouTube. Next, they'll start doing news channels on Twitch. And then they'll try and push so that the news channels, so they'll turn YouTube into the news and they'll turn Twitch into the news. And people will veer away and they'll end up keep going for news sites. And well, no, what they'll likely do is they'll set it so that they'll start doing more and more of the sites. And they'll put in preemptive legislation so that if you're going to build this kind of site, you have to create those kind of. This is why we need. This is why what is going to lead to a further surge in VPNs as people go into other countries that don't go putting news right to the top of the line. But they're also trying to go for VPNs, so good luck with that one. I swear I try not to get into politics, but this day and age. But yeah, how are you doing? How has your day been, though, by the way, Zoe? And that question goes to Tag as well. Although I'm guessing Tag is about ready to be turning in about now. Tag with his weird sleep pattern, turning in by 9 p.m. Like 9 p.m. How has he managed to eat? It should still be tasting the toothpaste by that earlier time. Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. The correct time to turn into bed is 6 a.m. Generally kids don't actually do that. I only say that because of how my sleep pattern is. I had a headache, sore eyes, but fair. I mean, not fair about the headache. Fair about having to go to the chemist. Do you have to be out there early? And by early, I mean early by your standards, obviously, not by my standards. We already established that right now, 12, like midday is early for me. Because it's either early or I've not slept during the night. Although, arguably, possibly two. People keep telling me about this mythical time called 9 a.m. I need to look into removing Copilot. I thought I had removed it, apparently not. I know that because I had accidentally hovered over and saw a bit of news. Thing is, I think I want to go. I want to go checking the settings. My guess is every time they do an update, they reinstall Copilot. System is the personalization apps. I swear I uninstalled I mean, it looks like I did, but it looks like I didn't do it properly. Ah, I do think the uh, trust me, I'm under, I'm under a similar vibe. Uh, too many things going on. Too many things. Yeah, I know someone who's strongly of opinion, and I genuinely have trouble disagreeing. Oh, oh, oh!
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto, butone centenario.
I mean, I'll be honest. I wasn't really playing too much. I saw it slow down, and I thought, nah, that's not going to work. I think because the timer must have stalled.
I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto, butone centenario. I ciappi apparatino, qual più selvetto, butone centenario.
I had to redo that one because I didn't see what happened. I clicked while I was turned away. Then I heard the music. I saw the current of LOL this one. I was like, I suppose that one was a gimme, but I'm it's you don't want too many of them, otherwise there's no point playing the game. But it's definitely a good nod to be doing. See, I have a suspicion this one though, on the other hand, is going to be a bit of a nuisance. Like, I genuinely am trying. I'm looking at chat. I can look at camera side. You at least get to see my facial view. And thing is, like, especially when I'm looking at the camera, I can't see the game beyond my peripheral vision. And since my peripheral vision is kind of blurred because the glasses only cover so much of the eyes, uh, I, 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 I see a backup tag. Yeah. I don't think I could do this game on the regular. I do like it. It is a nice dip-in game, but that's the thing of. I mean, what I do think I kind of do hope I will return to it at some point. I probably won't. Let's be fair, but I'd like to think I will return to it. I mean, people were kind enough to arrange for a few clips for me. I'm trying to be careful with my wording because of what I've heard about. I mean, like I said, as I said earlier, Tag, there was a guy who managed to do it so that on TikTok, where if people give gifts, it modifies the nature of the sausage or the pan. Like, there's one that made the sausage like really thick, one that made it crazy long. Then there are ones that like move the objects around, and one that made the pan teeny tiny. That sounded like it clobbered the hammer more than it actually did, than it actually seemed, than the aesthetic suggested. There was a point with the crossbars asking if the sausage was actually made of rubber. Like it was is it a dog toy? I do remember. But here's a question tag: would you eat that sausage? I go, eat that sausage, eat it up. Would you eat that sausage? Eat it up. Would you eat that tasty, tasty, sizzly sausage? Eat it up. Oh, imagine this for a challenge of every time you have to complete a sausage, get land one of the sausages, you have to eat a sausage. Can you imagine how full you would be? Like, I feel like that'd be too many. I think I believe I've heard that this is at least 30 in. That's too many sausage to have in one sitting. Like, I like a nice saucy sarnie. Like, it really is good to have a good sausage sarnie now and again. And as you know, there's a bit of a combination I do with sausage, tatty waffles, hash browns. Although I think I'm heading to hash browns, smileys. The the Yorkshire puds, peas, and of course, beer gravy on top. I remember you saying it's weird that you have gravy with tatty waffles, but it's like a case of it's kind of easier to they're easier to cook than tatty waffles. Than doing roast buds, whatever I mean. Tough spicy pot. I gotta check on what this is. I'm scared. Oh, it's you took a clip of me singing. Was it talking about the food I was having? Yeah. I mean, you can't have just sausage and gravy though. It doesn't quite hit right. I mean, I do like a nice bit of mash, but trouble is that it's kind of expensive to whee! It's a bit expensive to go it's a bit expensive to go having to cook because there's kind of the option to batch cook, but trouble is you don't have to find storage receptacles for doing them. You know, you then have the hassle of, well, how do you cook it, and it's how I tended to do it always made me a bit nervous. Plus, when I did the second cooking to warm it back up and do the secondary stage of cooking, I had a bit of a tendency to overcook it. So I would literally be pouring out, and it'd be like sometimes it'd be like liquid. Yeah, it's I don't think it was a good way that I was doing it. But like the only other option is to be doing like a lot of to not batch cook if you're cooking for one, it's a little expensive to do. And there's also a factor of it gets impacted by the kind of gravy you use and stuff like that. Thing is, if I click out, then click back into the game, what can happen is it goes on, and then I'll click back in the game. See, currently there's no sausage, right? Click into the game, and suddenly it appears and drops at the same time. I think at most this is probably going to be the last one I do, unless I get this done soon and the next one looks easy. But honestly, I think this one is going to be a bit awkward by the looks of it. I will say I did like the moon one. Like it's no challenge, and there's no satisfaction of, oh, I finally got it done. It's but I liked it because there's a little bit of, I feel like there's a bit of creativity gone into it. Like it's not just here's an object, you have to land on it. I mean, you can say the same thing about the wooden bar, but the wooden bar, honestly, that was, I think that felt like more of a nuisance trying to get back. I'd say it's a bit like the cross, although I feel it's a bit more justified with the wooden. I feel like the wooden plank is a bit more justifiable because the cross was still a stationary object. I would say one thing I think I'd like to see in the game would be maybe a little bit of background music for the loading screen. Like nothing heavy, not the big operatic element of the congratulations on your success. Just a bit of like just a as I'm quietly playing music just to help mellow you out. I don't know why I'm going into a singing phase today. I have considered doing a singing stream. The trouble is karaoke streams are difficult and a bit of a high risk of copyright strikes unless you're careful about what songs you do. I think it's mainly things like carols and I think that certain old like for example, if I were to do a rendition of I am the very mark of a modern major general, I'm not going to do it obviously, but like if I did that, is that a safe thing for me to stream? Is there a risk of me getting a copyright strike if I was to try and do that? Probably not, because I would not be able to do it well. Oh, right now I thought I was about to have that. See, occasionally it'll hit and give no bang, and sometimes it'll seem to give an additional bang beyond the actual hits it seems to have. But I suppose what the additional bang is actually just it bouncing and doing like micro hops, but it's like it's not. It didn't really fall enough to justify the extra bump or thud or what have you. I think in the future batches for that drink I did, I might go for lightening the potency I used for the freshen up I had today. Just because it's not that it's bad, but the fact that it's quite tangy, quite zingy, it might be for that flavor at least. It might be a bit too much. I say that with that still to finish, and there being 4 more shakers worth. I think it was 4 more shakers worth of the stuff to drink. But I'm not going to go. I mean, the larger shakers, I suppose I could water down. Like add a little bit more water, mix it up, reduce the over potency. But on the other hand, by having the increased I do now, I can sooner get to try new flavors. That's the conundrum there. And if it wasn't for the fact that I would have to keep going back and forth, I would keep it in the fridge. Thing is, like my fridge isn't far away. It's a couple, 2-3 meters away. But I have to keep getting up, walking around every time I want a sip of a drink. It's not ideal. Oh. No. So I think I'm going to set myself the challenge of at least trying to get this one done. I'll see what the next one is, but I think after this one, I'm probably going to call it because I am approaching. I don't know what I'll go cooking today. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do a sausage sandwich though. It's about 5 minutes. So I started about 5 minutes late. partly that was me making sure I got little setups done, and it. I don't think it's a bad layout. It is a bit flawed, but it's not a bad layout. Considering that this was the setup of what I've done inside of an hour, which honestly, it did include was me rushing to add the extra options of that would have put me forward a level, set me back a level, made me restart. Although those didn't actually get activated throughout the stream, and I think if they were to get activated now, I'd probably only do like I'd only be doing so much, like because like legit, I don't always remember to eat till quite late. The main reason I'm remembering now is because I keep getting the sizzle of a sausage. it's it's been a constant companion throughout the stream. Like it's been nice. Like it's been nice. It was nice to hear from Lyndon who dropped by. Tag and Zoe, you both dropped by and talked. As did SOM. It's been a nice little crowd in. But that sizzle, the sizzle and the thud, and regular with of course regular visits from Pavarotti. Oh, 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 oh! I legit thought I legit thought I had it there. I mean, I was confused by the way it landed. That made me doubt it, but I've seen it land just as awkwardly before in other places. It was there for shorter periods of time, and it still qualified. Oh, this could be it. I think it's it.
I ciardi apparatino, qual più selvetto, muto centena e di pensiero, seppe una rapide vecchia sorriso, rinesiente del riso e del soliero, le amanna e monti, le tornio malvencio, non viene ciò. Pensier eri pensier eri pensier.
So I think that there we were. That's where we were possibly finding where it was about to start looping. So we have a hand. Well, I think also it is kind of good. Like it's a nice simplistic game. Like simple to play. Like I mean, it's simple and it's complicated. But like I feel like providing you don't need to necessarily have top mobility of the things because you can just let it swing and just give it the timing. You don't need to. Oh, how many were they? 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 38. Well, let's go to full cam. So, thank you, Zoe and Lyndon, for generous donations. I will be continuing this throughout the week. Tomorrow, I'll be streaming 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. Might go on for longer. For anyone on the Twitch side, I'm going to be raiding Lyndon. I'm curious to see about that game that he was talking about. It sounds like one might enjoy playing. Oh. Yeah. I mean, I set a lofty goal of 250 quid. I'm actually happy with what I got. But there's still more time to get it up a bit. Try and help a good cause. But anyone joining, it's hashtag TRaid on the Twitch side. Feel free to add emotes as you like. Thanks for dropping by, anyone, and lurked on YouTube. But for now, back to the stream more tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Remember, we all man. Be good, be kind, be safe, be well, wherever possible.